Calling Kitty. Here's Kitty.
Hiya. How are we doing, gang? Are we all right? Oh my goodness, how are we doing? Welcome to another installment of Calling Kitty. How are we doing? It's me, it's Kitty Cassis. Cassis like the dark, sweet, viscous, slightly sickly liqueur, only tolerable in very small doses. Hiya. I hope you're well wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And if you wanted to tune in today, I'm afraid that I am sort of moonlighting, multitasking, spinning plates, juggling balls. That's all I do, treasures, to be honest. I am not in Dave's shed this time. All right. I'm actually at the salon. Now I've got a couple of, if you tune into the YouTube link, as always, it'll be in the show notes. I'm actually in the salon. I'm keeping my voice down. I've got a therapeutic massage going on over there. You all right? Is that all right, that volume? Yeah. One of my nieces, Shenice, she's learning to do massage, making people more relaxed, apparently. Who knew? Back in my day, we didn't make people relaxed. Do you know what I mean? We got them in here and they were screaming and yelling because if you want to look better and if you want to look great, there's pain involved. You've got to walk through the fire if you want to look hot. Do you know what I'm saying, treasures? But I am in the salon today. You might hear the odd hairdryer or the odd muslin strip being ripped off somebody's leg and a small squeal. Because, yeah, timings wise, I've just got a lot on at the salon. Everyone's getting ready. Everyone's getting summer ready. Everyone's getting, beach body ready, whatever that means. Again, I've no idea. I mean, we used to just take our body to the beach, then we were beach body ready. But now you've got to have everything sort of waxed and stripped and sucked and plucked and stretched and tightened. And listen, that's good for me. That's good business for me. So I'm in the salon. I've got, I don't know if you can see Edna there. She's the last one on the end of that bay there. She's been under that dryer for about 6 hours and the perm is still not holding. This is something that happens sometimes in my business, with hairdressing. I've been hairdressing a long time. Sometimes you've got to find different ways of doing stuff. And Edna, I mean, I think she does just like sitting under the dryer. Possibly. I mean, she can't afford to put the heating on at home, bless her. Welcome to another installment. That was a slightly quieter one today for all of me ASMR fans. Do you know, I was just doing somebody, I was doing a back sack and crack, so I took all my bloody rings off. Let me get them back on. So they're all clicking. Calling Kitty is a podcast. It's an audio podcast with a visual element. As you can see today, I'm looking absolutely stunning because I am actually at work. Do many of you try and do your side hustle at work? It's precarious, isn't it, treasures? Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you're trying to use the stationery at work, or you're trying to use company time to send your emails out, and then you've got to keep your eye out, make sure your manager's not walking past. Thankfully, I've got my own business. I work for myself, but obviously my clients are my boss. That's the thing. So I've got to keep them happy. I'll be with you in about 10 minutes. All right. No, yeah, just sit yourself down. All right. Bloody hell, they're hard work. They are high maintenance. Calling Kitty is a podcast, and we just drop into your inbox every week and just say, how are you doing? All right. How are you doing? How are you really? Take a quick deep breath wherever you are, whatever you're doing today, and just plant your feet firmly down on the ground, unless you are, unless you're doing something where if you're driving, probably best not to plant your feet firmly on the ground. Keep them hovered over that brake pad. Do you know what I mean? If you are able to plant your feet on the ground and just have a minute and just take a deep breath in and out, then, do that. All right. Now, for me, I don't know if you can tell this morning, I've done a DIY facelift. And you must be thinking, how though, Kitty? How can you do that? I mean, a quick trip to B&Q and you're flying. Honestly, I mean, my recipe is 2 parts Wix no nonsense decorators cork. It's spelt colk, but you actually pronounce it cork. So I do 2 parts that to 3 parts surgical spirit. I add a splash of Viacal, a pinch of pink Himalayan sea salt, and as always, I just throw an OXO cube in there and I pop that in a blender for just under a minute. Don't go overboard, all right? Now, lather that all around your visage and then just gather up the loose skin around the eyes and around the neck and just yank it back. All right. I hold that in place with a claw clip, which is what I've got going on in the back here. And you can't even tell you're good to go. And a lot of people say to me, how do you discover these sort of things, Kitty? It's mostly accidental, to be honest. I actually mixed that tincture originally for Shakira. I don't know if you remember, but she needed a bit of help in the derriere region, and I obviously obliged, and we got a spick and span for the "Hips Don't Lie" video. Everybody on set was visibly taken aback on that day. I remember it. I remember it like it was yesterday. And she looked over and she said, Kitty, she said, you put the ass in assassin. And I thought, I'm having that. And really that launched me in that area. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people don't talk about it, but actually the BBL, which is the Bolton bum lift, it started here. It started, in my neighborhood, amongst my tribe, and then obviously it a few neighbors that I knew, actually, it was Karen and Tom. They went over to live in Sao Paulo. Before you know it, everybody's going over there, and it becomes like it's a Brazil thing. But for me, I know where it started. I know the origins, and I was the sort of for those that are in the know, I'm the person on your Rolodex. Do you know what I mean? You keep scrolling around your Rolodex and you'll get to me and you know that you come to the source. All right. J-Lo did it, Tanita Tikaram, Les Dennis. They would just call me and say, Kitty, I've got a sex scene, I've got a nude scene. Maybe I'm going to like the TV Quick Awards, and they'd come around and we'd sort them out here. All the Russells, Howard, Grant, Brand, Tovey, Kane, Crow. All they would all come to me for those kind of things. Do you know what I mean? And to be honest, anybody who's listening to this and think, well, wouldn't I have heard of you, Kitty? This is the thing, you see. I'm stealth. A lot of the movers and shakers in this, they talk about the Illuminati, don't they? They talk about the Illuminati. And you don't know the names, you don't know the faces, but they are the ones pulling the strings. And it is a bit like that in my industry, in my game. Do you know what I mean? It's the people that are sort of like, we don't need recognition, we don't need plaudits, we don't need our names in lights. We know, and our clients know. Okay. That is all you need to know. Do you know what I mean? So welcome to Calling Kitty. It's a quiet episode today. I mean, I should do a full. I should get me noodles. I brought me noodles in spam noodles for lunch, and I could maybe slurp those. But I could make that like a behind a paywall, couldn't I? Because I think that could be quite horny for a lot of you. Calling Kitty is my podcast that I do every week where I'm just dropping in and I'm just dropping, like I say, little tidbits, and today this one goes out to all of those people out there who have a foot fetish. Oh, now that's divided the room, hasn't it? You've got those people who love getting the toes sucked, and those of you who the mere thought of a collapsed arch is enough to make you vomit. And so we've got these two groups of people here. Never the twain shall meet. Maybe you just love getting your trotters noshed. Maybe you love noshing on a trotter. maybe the thought of it is just absolutely disgusting to you, but either way, I mean, essentially, this episode is for everyone out there with feet, regardless of your feelings towards them. For myself personally, I mean, obviously back in the day, it was, well, it was Sarah Ferguson who originally came in to me and she wanted to get a nice pedicure done. And obviously it was a little bit, it was a bit of a setup. She used to court the press quite heavily, and I did kind of get dragged into that. Obviously, News of the World were always on my ringer. They would, I had a bit of a back phone. I had the back phone set up there, the rotary phone, and they'd phone me and say, has she been in? And I'd say, I can't possibly comment. Okay. I can't comment, Rupert. Told you. All right. I don't kiss and tell. But I had done a lovely manicure for her. And what we actually did was excavate all of the crust from between her toes. And then we would actually sell that. And there is a massive market for that. If anyone is listening and they've got like a, cost of living crisis, it's going to hit us all. And if you do need an extra income stream, I can highly recommend. I mean, even belly button fluff, stuff like that. People will pay for that. I mean, they'll pay good money for that, to be honest. And that is just your secretions. Do you know what I mean? Just your average secretions. Talking of secretions, I don't know if I mean, I always say about this podcast, you can start wherever you want to start. There's no linear, it's not like War and Peace, it's not like Game of Thrones where you need to have seen the last episode to know what's going on. I mean, it's a bit like Midsummer Murders. You just fall asleep for 20 minutes and you can wake up and you still, it's still somebody with a tea cozy on their head who's done it, or who is the victim. Take your pick. But I don't know if you remember, a few weeks ago, I did get propositioned by Pendulum Pleasure Limited, and it's very exciting because it's all a bit hush hush at the moment. I'm not really supposed to say anything until the ink is dry, the I's are dotted, and the T's are crossed. Do you know what I'm saying, treasure? These things, they take a while, don't they, to get everything buttoned down and make sure that we're all singing off the same hymn sheet. But listen, I know how to do a deal, and I'm going to be the brand ambassador for the Momentum 3000 sex swing. And it all started on this podcast. I mean, listen, like I say, you lot are seeing behind the beef curtains. You are seeing what it's like for these, somebody reaches out, one person reaches out to another person, and then I tell their people to speak to my people. In this case, that's our Dave. And then he messes things up and he cocks up the numbers. So I have to deal with it. And I'm being given a lovely little cut, if you like. But these are products that I can stand by. These are products that I can swing by. Do you know what I mean? I actually went to I went to one of the only gay saunas in Rochdale last night and saw it in action, and it's pretty special. Okay, and my listeners will get a 20% off code. I'm going to give all that to you on another episode, but I just thought I would update you in that. Now, one thing that has happened is I had a go on it myself, gang, and I've thrown my bloody neck out, and that's why I'm not able to do the massage. That's why I'm not able. I mean, Edna has been under there for 6 hours. I mean, she's fine with it. She's not protesting, but the angle to get her out of there, I'll have to wait for our Dave to come back. He's just seeing to the ferrets at the moment, but I've thrown my neck out because I just got carried away with it. And we will have to put some sort of health warning on this product, because once you do get carried away with it, it's all reinforced leather, double stitching. It's got like a gorgeous quilted leather bucket seat, and we were there yesterday. We did a bit of filming for it, and it's so nice to be kind of back in the spotlight. I had a custom made leather sort of basque leopard print, obviously, and that is going to be hitting It's gonna be hitting billboards. I mean, it's gonna be quite big, this campaign. I've got to be honest with you. And you know, I said to our viewer, I said, listen, I want to give you a heads up, Treasure, before this comes out, because you're gonna see a different side of Kitty. I think that's why the brand wanted to work with me. You know, I am obviously a glamour puss, but sometimes, you know, people's sexuality it's mysterious, isn't it? You keep it under lock and key. But I'm busting everything out for this, literally. And I feel like it's going to be a nice little learner. So if you are in the market for any sort of adult furniture, shall we say, wink, wink, uh, get in touch with me, or literally just go to pendulumpleasure.com. And that's where it's all happening. Like I said to you, there will be a discount code. And listen, if nothing else, and I know that obviously there's at least 27 of you who download the episode every week. Share this amongst your friends, because you know, as a lot of you will know, you know, you see influencers, don't you? And they're trying to flog you a lip gloss, or you know, trying to get you to go to a hotel or something, and they say use my code, and that's so that those people who've employed us know that it was worth doing that. So you've got to support us, you've got to support the podcast, Treasures, you've got to do all these things. And listen, I'm, as we've already established, I am somebody who can be in various places at various times, doing anything to everyone, whether they want me to or not. So if anybody has got like, I mean, anything at this point, I'll do anything. Give me a shout if you want, you know, that voice of authority, that voice of credibility, that voice of dignity on your brands, because I can sell that for you, you know. And I'll even take to the streets if I have to, Treasures. You know, times are hard, and we're looking, you know, we do need to put spam on the table, and we need to keep a roof over our heads. All right. And I hope you lot are doing the same out there. Share your contacts. Do you know what I mean? Network. That's what you need to be doing. If you would like to get in touch with me, as ever, I say it every single week. It's hiyaitsmekitty.com. hiyaitsmekitty.com, and on all the platforms, Hiya It's Me Kitty, HIYAITSMEKI2TY. I do think that's probably about it for this week, Treasures. Do all the things, like, share, subscribe, get tickets to me show up in Edinburgh. Come up to Edinburgh. You can stay on my sofa bed. I'm bringing a futon with me on the megabus. I've strapped it to the back. See, I've arranged with Keith. Keith normally drives that megabus leg. He does that journey, and he said to me, you can bring the futon, and I'm bringing that really so that if anybody does need to come up and needs to stay with me, they can do that. All right. And yeah, get in touch with me. Keep in touch with me. This has been Calling Kitty. It's been a very sedate episode. I love it. And if you know, I know that a lot of you like me normally screeching through your AirPods, but, you know, I'm thinking that maybe even I could do some kind of therapeutic meditation, guiding mindfulness thing, couldn't I? I mean, that would be erotic. That's what it would be, but that'll cost you. That will be behind a paywall. I've been Kitty Cassis. You lot have been gorgeous, and I'll see you next week. All right, gang. Ta-ra!
Like, follow, subscribe, sign your life savings over to Calling Kitty. Available on all the podcast platforms.